So to end this episode today, I mean, there's a lot of things to be said basically about Ukraine right now, right? I mean, it looks like the things that were considered off the table a month ago are being considered now on both sides. The usage of weapons that have been given by Europe and the United States is growing. We have Russia's again firing on Kyiv. We had the UN Secretary General there. We had Nancy Pelosi there. It seems like this is slowly becoming like a Europe slash NATO versus Russia, which doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth personally. And I don't really know where we go from here, to be completely honest, because I saw today that Putin told Macron and the West that it could be war if you keep supplying weapons to Ukraine, which then Pelosi said when she was in Kiev that we're going to keep supplying weapons. And so when you have all these just huge oppositions to reality that are happening here, I don't really know what's next. But I think it's going to be a long time until we actually see the ramifications of this. But what I wanted to say here is just apparently Vlad Putin is going to undergo cancer surgery. And that's according to, I've seen it in the New York Post, CNN, the British newspaper The Sun, and Marca, which is a Spanish magazine. And apparently Kremlin insiders, defected, of course, Kremlin insiders mainly, are the ones who have reported this. And to be honest, we have to take all this with a grain of salt. There are still a lot of questions to be had here. But a lot of the information we've been getting from either defectors or moles inside have so far been fairly accurate. And like I kind of said at the top of the show, Putin doesn't look well. The shakiness, holding on to tables, the puffy face, the extreme ideas, and the willingness to kind of act quickly, all, just Occam's razor, the simplest idea is probably the most possible, would tell me he's sick. And I do believe it. And so, according to what I'm reading here in Marca, in his absence, his current spy chief, a guy named Nikolai Patrushev, would take over. And, he's someone I haven't really heard much about, but, because some people are like, maybe this is a good sign, right? This is a good sign for some end. Maybe he's not a warmonger. Apparently, this guy is a very important figure in the invasion of Ukraine, and he's actually instrumental in starting the war. He was the one that convinced Putin that Ukraine was full of Nazis and needed to be brought to the heels. And so this is not particularly a guy that I think will make things better. I also have to say that if he is the one that Putin has actually decided should be his successor, or at least interim leader while he's getting this treatment, this sounds like a yes man. This sounds like an apparatchik type of person, someone who has told the leader what they want, fed the leader with information they want, and now the leader wants him involved. And this is quite problematic in my opinion, because this guy is going to just continue that. And yeah, I've seen bowel cancer, other forms of stomach cancer. Apparently it's going to be brief. His absence is going to be brief. And they say his illness is not serious, according to reports I've seen. But if it's bowel cancer, I mean, that could be serious. Again, Putin has a lot of money. Maybe he can push things off for a little bit. But this is all just not great news, I guess you could say. And this just tells me is that it kind of shows who Putin's inner circle is. It's people that have been feeding his ideas so far, right? And it's something that happens in late-stage autocracies, late-stage places like Russia, is that the dictator starts believing his own propaganda. I mean, you can even see that in some ways with Trump and the big lie. I used to think he didn't believe it, but if you tell yourself something enough, you believe it. And Putin's insulated himself with these type of people, and now that person that's been feeding this denazification stuff is going to be potentially leading this charge. And so I think bad days are still ahead. I'll probably do another episode looking at more specifics of what's actually happening in Ukraine right now. But I just wanted to touch with that. It's something a little different than Roe v. Wade. It's outside of the country. Again, there's not enough concrete evidence to really know what's happening with Putin at this time, to be completely honest. But I don't think anything rash is going to change while he's out of office, but I don't think it's any reason to celebrate and say, see, Putin's dying, someone else is going to come in and make things better. So we're just going to have to keep watching, but let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for listening, and it's good to be back. Take care.